That's buffering. All right. Welcome back to the Vault Talk. How the hell is everybody doing?
Freaking
We've got
fantastic.
we've got
Diamond's bad.
Conscience, we've got Kyle, and we've got Zio in the house today with us. Zio is also another old buddy of ours who decided to hop on the Vault Talk. Where's he at? That is Zio in the flesh. What's up, Zio?
He said, "What up?"
All right.
We are live. How y'all feeling? I guess I shouldn't be on the porch. This does look weird, huh? Let's go to the backyard.
That's all right. Enjoying nature. You know, it's long overdue, right?
Oh
This
yeah,
corona-
man. We better
Yeah, definitely.
tuck away inside.
It's way overdue.
Yeah, exactly. So enjoy.
Hey, you guys hear the wind?
No, I really can't hear it.
Cool. I'm trying to block it with my hand, so I think it's working.
All right, let's get this going here with some Instagram followers. We got some new Instagram followers. Let's get a shout out to Miana Ninas 98, Padrino the Great, Drea.
All right, man. When do we get naked? No, sorry.
And,
Shout out to
Luke John 97. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for liking the page, and also thank you to everybody for 100 likes on Facebook. That is freaking awesome. So that's
nice.
that's just cool to see, man.
Yeah,
Even though you're listening
thanks
for
everyone.
nothing, you decided to subscribe. So thank you.
Yeah, if anyone wants us to talk about certain things in entertainment, anything like that, just comment down below. We'll be happy to talk about it.
Yeah, please let us know what's up. Say hi, and we will shout you out. So what's going on today, guys? How's everybody doing?
Nothing much.
We
just
got
been
tested for the Rona.
tested for the Rona.
There's- Amanda got tested for coronavirus.
Yeah,
Did the result come back?
Nah, they have to wait 72 hours.
Oh, she
But you
got
get
that test. Okay.
Yeah, the swab shoved up her nose. Isaiah? Yeah.
oh, they
kinda.
actually do that. They actually do the
Yeah,
swab.
it's like sideways. Yeah, they do it. They do up your throat, then up your nose.
It's like through the nose, like all the way to the back of your throat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what it sounded like.
God.
She's like, that was painful.
It usually is not fun.
No. But yeah, I mean,
Only one thing I like for you. That's food. What did you?
Yes. Food indeed.
All right, guys. So we got a lot of gaming news. There's a lot of cool things going on.
Nice.
Not just talk about the not just talk about the next consoles. All these predictions of what they might be like. We actually got some games coming out, so that's pretty cool. Isaac, I believe you were talking about one called The Medium.
Yeah, it's okay. Just before we get started, who here wishes there was a brand new Silent Hill coming out on these consoles?
I don't know the other games enough. I
Well,
wish I did because they're popular. They're obviously popular.
yeah, Zeal, you brought up a good point. You brought up a good point, Zeal. Even if you have never played them, you've heard of the Silent Hill series. It's kind of like up there,
Oh,
Resident Evil. Well,
Oh yeah.
Konami.
Because I've never really played them.
Well,
You know.
it's like weird. It's like Resident Evil's like survival horror. It's like zombies. Silent Hill's like psychological horror. And Konami hasn't. Who knows if they're ever going to do another Silent Hill? But The Medium is actually like its spiritual successor in a sense. It's a psychological horror game, and actually, the people who worked on the Silent Hill soundtrack, Akira Yamaoka, is working on this game. So it's pretty much a new Silent Hill.
Sweet.
Yeah, I
And
was
it's like
watching
you
the
got a modern
trailer.
day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching the trailer for it, and it seemed.
It's disturbing.
Yeah, it was pretty eerie, man.
Nice.
The trailer is
And
disturbing.
The graphics on it, like, they look pretty realistic too. So that was.
I'll very likely watch someone play it. I like horror stuff. Like I would do a lot of horror story narrations and people playing games and all that.
If this is anything like the way Resident Evil has been, then like I'm totally looking forward to it because I'm a big Resident Evil fan. Haven't played all of them.
Did Mark freeze like
The
that?
one I have played. Nice. I thought that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's funny, Zeal, because you really don't get a lot of weapons in the Silent Hill games. It's more like run for your freaking life. There's only so much you can
like
do.
Outlast then in that case.
In a
That's the
sense,
best.
yeah. Except I don't know how to describe it. Like Resident Evil has a lot of jump scares, which Silent Hill does too. But Silent Hill is outright disturbing. That's the only way I can describe it.
So it's the atmosphere of the game that adds to the fear.
Yeah, like I mean,
Now I see why it ends in fear.
yeah. Mark, why don't you pull up a picture of the medium actually, and even the cover itself is like, what the heck?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, if you guys are a fan of horror, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
I'll totally check it out. I wonder if John will probably, if it's that big of a game, then I bet John will play it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of horror type stuff. Like I prefer stories, but some games are cool. I feel like they're probably better to play, but I'm not a big gamer. I raged at Apex today, dude. Like you got with the new season, you got nothing but predators coming back and people like everywhere, dude. Like I'm good at the game, but every time I try to shoot someone, there's like 7 people that all fire at me, and I'm like, what the heck? And that is dope.
So Isaac, is it more of like action-based horror, or is it more like I don't want to say like walking simulator, but you know what I mean? Where like
where you do a lot more walking and running.
Yeah, right.
I really can't. I'm trying to think of a way to describe the Silent Hill series. It's almost like, I mean, I might be off here. If any of you played The Evil Within, you know you have limited resources more than Resident Evil. Silent Hill's kind of like that.
Okay.
Ooh, okay, I see that. Ooh.
And the Evil Within was amazing. Like I played that game like 3 times over, and I played number 2. Like if you like The Evil Within, you will definitely probably like this game or any of the Silent Hill games.
See, that's one of those games I'm going to have to watch it if it's like The Evil Within, because The Evil Within, I saw a buddy of mine play, and I'm like, there's way too much going on. I will die every 5 seconds.
I'm not going to lie to you. One of the final boss, it literally took me half an hour to beat it.
Isn't his name Ruvik?
Ruvik, yeah. Like it took me half an hour to beat Ruvik. The only other boss to give me a harder challenge than that was Zeus on God of War Titan mode.
Oh,
that almost took me an hour to beat him on Titan mode, like the hardest mode.
Was it like a frustrating hard, or was it like the fun and hard? Because if it's fun and hard, then that's a good thing if it takes a long time.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, Zio. The first 15 minutes was a fun hard, but that hour, when it got close to that hour, it was not fun.
Understandably.
But actually, I mean, if we start...
So about this photo, so it's like, is she going to hell?
Apparently, I read a little bit of the plot. She's able to walk between the world of the living and the world of the dead. And it's like a lot of mystery solving too.
So then I take it she's the main character?
Yeah, she is.
It's kind of like Soul Reaver then.
In a sense, yeah. I don't know that much about the game, but I just read that you're always between these 2 worlds.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool.
I mean, Marky, with Bugway Films, we should do a Let's Play.
Exactly like Soul Reaver. Let's do it.
So,
Let's play.
Based on the trailer, because I didn't get a chance to see like any of the trailer. Could you gather like what type of gameplay it's? So it is going to be similar to like Evil Within or Resident Evil.
Well, it's going to be exactly like Silent Hill. This is pretty much, in a sense, Silent Hill's spiritual successor.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, because I'll have to check it out. Because like Zio, I've played a couple of the Resident Evil games. I enjoyed them quite a bit, especially the remakes.
I have to play Resident Evil 3.
I'm gonna have to check out that spiritual successor to Silent Hill. So yeah, I have to check the trailer out.
The trailer it's disturbing. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, just like how I just repeated the same sentence 5 times. That type of disturbing, right?
Well, if it's anything like Evil Within, then we'll
see. I don't even want to compare. I don't even want to compare it to the Evil Within because this is more like psychological horror.
I have to say, if it's anything like PT, like back in 2015, if it's anything like PT, I'm totally down.
I think that's it, Fernandez. Yeah. It's like PT.
I've always wanted to try out that demo. So,
I mean, if you want to spend over $1,000 to get that PS3 with that PT demo, you can.
Let's do it. Let's kidnap the owner. We'll find a way.
Oh my goodness, Konami's gonna freaking kill us.
Yep.
I do hope Konami starts paying more attention to their franchises, unless me and Fernandez talked about it too, unless Sony's gonna like rent them or buy them or whatever, which I don't see Konami actually letting Sony buy them.
I don't know. I feel like if Sony were to negotiate a deal where they would both be able to turn a profit on the IP, I think they'd be able to agree to something. I don't think like I don't kind of like
an exclusive thing.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. If Sony was allowed to make the game, publish the game, and all Konami had to do was sit back and collect cash, I mean, that's a sweet deal. I don't see who would turn that down. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing is, like, I wonder who's gonna take over the Silent Hill series now.
Maybe you should give him a call. Send him a resume.
I don't think I'm that creative for that, dude.
You never know.
I think it's some scary stuff. I don't think it's stuff like that. That's like a whole other level.
I don't know, man. I think you're pretty knowledgeable.
Well, at least we'll have a
up, dude. I think you do good for a series like that. I'm just joking. You're good.
Well, how about Tony Hawk?
On a
Pro
more
Skater?
positive note, yeah, less scary.
Yes, for me.
I never thought they would remake it.
Dude, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered on the PS4, Xbox One. All I gotta say is, man, like, that's, for me personally, I think that's awesome, because, like, growing up, Pro Skater 1 was, like, by far one of, like, the coolest games. I remember going to McDonald's. I want to say it was the one that was on, like, Indianapolis Boulevard. They had two different games. They had Donkey Kong 64, and they had Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and you could play them right in the lounge.
I heard Donkey Kong 64.
Everybody would be all the kids would be lined up to play Pro Skater.
I missed whatever you just said about
like,
Donkey Kong 64.
that was cool. Like that was like
CZL knows what's up. One of the best 64 games ever.
You go to McDonald's.
It was until you go back to play it and realize how terrible.
You go to McDonald's, get a Happy Meal.
That's a lot of 64 games.
Yeah, true. Facts.
Still an amazing system, though. What were you saying, Marky?
Oh yeah.
But no, so Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, like I said, remastered. And I'm pumped for it. And like, I wasn't even really a skateboarder. I've never even really even attempted to do a kickflip or an ollie, but like I was always really like
Into the scene, kind of.
really interested in how somebody could do that. Yeah, like it was cool. So.
I mean, I know for sure I'm gonna get it because I played the original one.
What do you
like? It's been a very long time since I played it, but I remember having a blast with it. So, I mean, shoot, man, I get to relive my childhood.
I was absolutely terrible at that game. I think the only thing I did was grind before against against like a rail or something before my guy continuously face planted, and I kept getting game over after game over after game over. So that just shows you how good I am at sports games or skate games.
I think the last skate game I played was Skate 2, only because my brother had it.
Yeah.
I remember those
games. Confession that can lead into another game that I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely.
Because I have not gotten to play Breath of the Wild yet, except for like a demo in GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
But I did hear that they're releasing like a second one for it now.
Yeah, that's in development.
So far forward to that. I'm looking so forward to that.
If you want to spend some time with Breath of the Wild, it's easily over 100-hour game. You can spend to beat the whole thing, like everything, like side missions and everything. I don't know how long the main mission takes because I just beat the main game. I didn't do all the side missions, but easily it's over 100 hours.
Nice.
The coolest thing
is my favorite franchise, so I'm always down to play.
I still have to get Link's Awakening, actually.
You want to talk about Breath of the Wild, man? Talk to Ngadi. Ngadi
knows a lot. I think I might have talked to Ngadi about all that before.
I still have to get the Link's Awakening game, actually.
I still haven't played Link's Awakening.
The coolest thing too is I don't know if you guys have ever seen those videos of Breath of the Wild where some of the people, they start the game up and they figure out a way to get off that little plateau and go straight for the final boss. Like there's so much freedom. There's so much freedom in that game that as soon as you boot it up, and as soon as I think you get off that tiny island, you can find a way to go straight for Ganondorf or Calamity Ganon, whatever he's called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Calamity Ganon.
Yeah, it's you can pretty much. It's really nice.
I like the redesign of Link in Breath of the Wild. I think it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone played with Linkle yet?
I have not.
The female Link.
That's actually a thing.
I never heard of someone adding "ol" to the end of a name to make it a female. That'd be like making my name Kyle O.
Well, it ends in "lol."
Exactly, Kyle O. Kyle O.
I've played as the new Link on Mario Kart, if that counts.
Nice. I haven't played as new Link on Mario Kart, but I got Mario Kart 8 for Wii U, and that's
okay.
Link is my main fucking beast.
Yeah, I remember the DLC came out for that too.
Yes, and that's I think it was Hyrule Warriors when I first found out about Linkle because
I almost got Hyrule Warriors when I had my Wii U.
Yeah, it's fun. It's I find it worth playing. Like even though the main part of the game, like the rest of it is kind of just like if you're gonna do anything more, you have to buy the DLC to play the extra characters and get their parts of the story. But like it's still really fun, like for what they have. And I did download like 2 parts of the DLC.
It was really interesting, you know, with I think it was Techno Soft or something like that. You know, first they did Hyrule Warriors, and then they did Fire Emblem Warriors.
Oh, nice! I didn't even know they did Fire Emblem Warriors. See,
I
want to play that too because they both made me want to play Dynasty Warriors. I've never played that before.
Well, the cool thing about the Dynasty Warrior games,
Dynasty Warriors is cool.
It's one of those games where you just feel powerful because you just take out wave after wave after wave.
Oh yeah.
Aren't there like 1,000 guys on the map and you're one dude and you're just like
pretty much, and it's like you can kill them.
It makes you feel so beast though. You just flank through them like it's nothing. Meanwhile, you got like 8 people on your team talking to you that are all computers and they're not doing anything but standing around asking for your help.
It's kind of boring at first because you're just fighting against like level 1s basically.
Yeah.
So it's like one hit kills all around. But then like as you progress, you're like holy smokes, and then
the story gets much
like,
harder.
abilities and stuff too. So like
the only thing I didn't like about Fire Emblem Warriors that turned me off like really was they didn't have Ike in there, and Ike is my favorite Fire Emblem character. No, they did not. They actually had a lot of characters from the it was on the 3DS. It was like the 2 versions. What was it? Fire Emblem Fates. That's it.
The 3DS version for Hyrule Warriors Legends. I'm not sure what they did for Fire Emblem.
Oh, it's Fire Emblem Fates. That's it. It was like Birthright, Right, and Conquest. They took a lot of characters from there, actually, which I thought was pretty cool.
Nice. Look at you on camera while you do that.
But turns out Nintendo's actually going to have a dry year when it comes to video games. They only have like 2 major titles, which is the Legend of Zelda, the new Legend of Zelda, and Metroid 4, which is going to be a long time before both of those are made.
I mean, Animal Crossing is pretty big right now too.
Oh yeah,
it's gotten a lot bigger, surprisingly. Like considering that it was already big. I realized that Super Smash Bros. Plays a huge part in introducing people to new franchises because I didn't know about Fire Emblem before that. But that's why I'm surprised that Ike wasn't in the Fire Emblem Warriors, like you mentioned. Like,
that shocked me too, honestly. But I think Animal Crossing surpassed Smash Brothers. It's like doubled the sales of it.
Dude, holy crap!
Yeah, I looked at the number. It's like ridiculous. It's the #1 selling game on the Nintendo Switch now, period.
Wow. Okay, you know what? I'm not surprised about that solely because of how much I've seen. I do know that most female now have always been big fans of Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah.
And now that somehow added up to like a lot more people. I mean, almost everyone I know that's into Nintendo has fallen in love with the new Animal Crossing. People that I even barely know have been talking about Animal Crossing. I'm like, whoa, when did that blow up?
I feel like even if you're a Nintendo fan or not, you're going to enjoy Animal Crossing. Like, I never played an Animal Crossing game. Like, when my girlfriend got a Switch, she downloaded Animal Crossing, and she was like, you have to play Animal Crossing. And so I did, and I ended up loving it.
Same, dude.
Wow. See, I enjoyed playing the older one that I played on GameCube a while ago, but that was like so singular. Like, I went in and I realized, like, because it goes off real time, I went in and I'm like, not much necessarily is going on because like it's going off real time, so things actually take time to develop.
I'm still waiting for my house to be built in Animal Crossing. I'm still waiting for my house.
It's one of those games. It's like you look at it. Yeah, it's one of those games where you look at it and you're just like, oh man, this looks kind of childish, and then you start playing it and you're like, and then you keep playing it and it's like wow, like this is actually like really addicting. And then the more stuff you build, the more you build, the more you're like, it's like satisfying.
Exactly.
I feel the same about Harvest Moon and Sims. I feel like they all have that same feeling when you play it, and like it seems like whatever at first, but then once you build, it's like, well, I don't want to lose all this. I work for this.
Exactly.
Especially in Animal Crossing, that would suck if you lost everything. Like seriously.
Or like
that's why I say don't look at the game. They make that known. When Rossetti comes out, he will waste a good 10 minutes of your time just telling you, why did you reset the game? Do you know how much I had to build this? Like, I love it.
It's like in Sims. It's a good point you bring up in Sims because it's like you build up like a Sims career, and you get into like a level 10 or whatever career, and then
Friendships and everything.
Then you start looking at your own life, and you're like, oh, what the hell have I done? I spent all my time on The Sims.
I feel like Animal Crossing, Sims, and even Harvest Moon, that's like your goal life. You get to live your goal life without waiting like years or working for it. And it's funny.
What did you say, Zio?
I said that's the little house on the hill with the white picket fence. Like that's basically what those games represent. That lifestyle
exactly.
That
right.
I remember when I got it too. I just got my tent, everything. You know, I visited my girlfriend's island. She has neighborhoods, houses. Like it literally takes a dump on my island.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like it's ridiculous. And I go visit. I'm like, why can't my island be like this? Like seriously, I'm living in a tent. You're living in a mansion. Like seriously.
You start to question the amount of time you put into everything. Like, should I send them to school or should I just make them like ditch and go build friendships with that guy who already has money?
That's exactly an Animal Crossing.
Start mooching off of him. Hey,
Well,
man, let me borrow a couple fish.
Right.
Fish. Actually, I did borrow a couple of plants and crap from her island, so I'll admit it.
Someone shared a picture online. I guess I think it was Cole Sprouse who like got on Animal Crossing and like bought some turnips from someone and like left a picture of a beetle eating a turnip and said thanks. It was like some weird situation where they were offering to sell their turnips. Cole Sprouse responded, got on to Animal Crossing, went to their location, bought the turnips, and like spent 10 minutes drawing a picture, and the picture was just some beetle eating a turnip, going like thank you. It looks awesome. It's fun.
Hey, speaking of that, man, those the art that you can do on there, like the pixel art or whatever. Some people like do some crazy designs on it.
Yeah, it makes me feel like they must have been practicing since the DS came out or something. Because I remember like back in the day, you would like pull in the thing all black and then put like the white to draw your picture, and like it seems like they mastered that into creating a whole new.
It's funny too.
People put it like all this detail into it, and you're just like, what the heck? Like,
I think this is the Animal Crossing. Oh, sorry, Margie.
No, you're good, man.
I think this is the Animal Crossing game that had the most memes ever on launch because it came out the same day Doom Eternal did. So you saw nothing but Doom Guy and Isabelle memes, which was so funny. Like everywhere, you type in Animal Crossing, sometimes that's what would pop up. Isabelle and Doom Guy. You type in Doom Eternal, that's what would pop up. And that's what was so funny because like the day they both came out, she downloaded Animal Crossing, I downloaded Doom Eternal.
Isabelle got popular really fast too, and I don't know how that happened. Because I know she was my ex-girlfriend's favorite character from Animal Crossing, and essentially they added her to Mario Kart 8, and so she was happy about that. And then she found out that they were adding her to Smash Bros, and that was great. And since then, she's become like the #1 character from Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's like it's like she's associated with Animal Crossing already. Besides Tom Nook, and I think KK Slider, which is my favorite.
Yeah. That's because they're celebrities at this point, so like,
pretty much. They're video gaming celebrities. I think you put it in the best deal.
I really had no idea how big that franchise was. I wasn't even aware there was a new one coming out, and so when I looked at it on the Nintendo store or whatever, I was like, this I'm gonna check this out, but this is gonna be a complete waste of $60. So I bought it and I somehow fell in love with it.
I was gonna say,
like Mark was saying, it looks like something. It looks really kiddyish. You know what I mean? I mean, you start off talking to a fat raccoon, and that raccoon. By the way, hold on. That raccoon really makes me nervous because they call him Fearless Leader. And there's been some.
Do they really?
Dude, yeah, they call him Fearless Leader, and that's been used.
Hey man, they got found.
Oh my!
Yeah. But other than that, no. I mean, I just did not. I didn't even realize how big the series was, let alone how fun the game would be. So I'm actually really glad that it's gotten as big as it has because I'm definitely interested in future installments if they make any.
They're gonna do future installments. I think it surpassed like 11 million units they sold.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, good for them, man. I mean,
it's probably more than that now.
Game. It's a top quality game.
Yeah, because it's been in the makings for a long time. You know, I think they pulled it off perfectly.
Yeah.
You know,
Now-
I'm gonna start just like hearing these numbers makes me want to just get into making video game music and selling them to companies because like they are making bank with this. It's amazing. And then you consider the DLCs that they make off of it too. Oh, baby girl, I got you. Hey,
Juna.
yeah,
Juna's acting bad.
running around the yard here like a loud crack sound.
It's funny because when I used to hang out with Lepaki, you know, he knows how to code games. Me and him were actually going to make a shoot 'em up. Actually, like when I was just getting into them, and I mean that's all I play now. Like besides Animal Crossing, obviously.
Wow, I did not know he was into that.
Well, he knows how to make games, and actually he made his own game, and he was actually going to make a shoot 'em up,
You know
which
who else was
can be
into
kind of
coding?
hard because I mean there's some pretty. I mean everyone in the shmup community is really cool, but
Yeah.
it better be good. Like many people in gaming communities, it better be a good game.
Do you
Wait,
remember?
it's called the Schmuck community?
Shmup. For shoot 'em up, they call them
Yeah,
shmups.
shmup.
All right.
Yeah, shmups.
Both
Do
sound
you-
pretty cool.
Do you remember Tim Shaw?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you, Tim Shaw, if you're watching. He used to be into all that gaming stuff, like coding and everything. And I remember he was talking about building a fighting game. I wonder whatever happened with
Oh
that.
man, I would have bought it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
The
heck
feeling
yeah,
of just building any type of game, regardless of the result, that's gotta like feel like really good. Even just to
Oh,
like
heck
show
yeah.
it to whomever or like
Yeah,
whatever.
even if it's simple.
Right? Yeah, I mean, like the amount of work that probably goes into just like the smallest amount of detail is probably takes hours to complete. You know.
Well, I mean, look at the documentary behind Shovel Knight. That's like the perfect example of how much it takes just to make a simple game like that. They actually ran out of money too from the Kickstarter.
They were saying, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a game called Stardew Valley, but that the guy that made Stardew Valley, that was an indie game. That wasn't even like a AAA game whatsoever, and they had like fully detailed environments, different weather systems. It's like a farming simulator with like RPG elements. So like you tend to your crops, you build on your property, and then at night you can go down to the dungeons and kill, monsters. It's a really
Nice.
weird.
Dude, that's awesome.
Really cool. Yeah.
Isn't that similar to the way Minecraft works? I don't know much about Minecraft, so excuse me if I'm way off.
In a sense.
So in a sense, yeah, but it's got more of like an anime art style. It actually took inspiration. It took inspiration from Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon was its inspiration for Stardew Valley. So yeah.
Nice. By the way, to any game developers, like if y'all ever working on a game, like it's been a while since I've animated anything, but I love drawing and I did go to school for animation. So like I'm always willing to like do character art and making music as well for stuff just to insert a humble brag plug. Music or any characters made for you, just hit me up and I'm down to like work with y'all on that.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. That's sweet. You'd
I
be
need
valuable in
more
the game. You'd be valuable in the gaming
Actually-
industry, man.
Did you actually do like
Kyle, you're beautiful. Go
like
ahead,
moving
Mark.
stuff? Like you actually do like animations and all that?
Yeah, he does. We were trying to get so what he was debating lately is trying to get some sort of software so he can get back into animating and see how we can mix it with our music and everything like that. I don't know if you guys were able to catch our live stream of our album that just came out, but Mark was in that, so it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for that new album.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Where can they find that album? By
Yeah,
the way?
well, I mean, I want to check this out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have conscience.bandcamp.com. All the albums are there. Good Music and Weather is ours. It's Save the Wave.
We also have it uploaded onto YouTube. Just a full. We have multiple uploads of it now at this point, really, because we've done the playthrough. But it's on my YouTube channel for official Zio. You can find that pretty easily.
Yeah. Say the other one again. What'd you say? Conscience.bandcamp?
Yeah, conscience.bandcamp.com. It's on there for free. I get 200 free downloads a month from whoever wants it. So I always put it for free because it's music. Like you can just pirate it, man. Just post it up online for free. Don't get like, don't do that.
Seriously, listen to it and enjoy it. It's called Good Music and Weather for a reason. So it's very just.
That's a beautiful mindset, man.
Yeah.
Only video games can be like that.
No input for that whole last conference. I've known none of those games. I was like the whole time. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You know, that's actually a like big debated topic right now in the gaming industry. Like, are we going to have to rely on indie developers to give us, our nostalgia fixes we wanted, for example, like other gaming companies, like perfect examples of the Medium. We haven't got a Silent Hill in who knows how long. That's why we got the Medium.
We've gotten so many indie developers trying to recreate Silent Hill, and a lot of really bad ones, some pretty good ones, but a lot of really bad ones. So like,
yeah. That's the issue.
Hopefully this game does live up to that, and like without using the Silent Hill name, comes out as a Silent Hill vibe and does just as well. That'd be dope.
We'll talk to them about your.
Well, let's hope the Medium's the one to kind of scratch that itch. Let's hope.
Because when you look at like from the about the end of the Xbox 360 and PS3 all the way up until now, for me, I guess this is kind of more my opinion, but like a lot of the game mechanics for like the more like mainstream and popular games, they're very like similar. There's not a whole lot of like new things coming out.
Oh, I agree there.
As far as
nowadays, technology has evolved to the point where almost anybody can get access to creating it if they have the drive to do so. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's also your preference of accessibility versus like graphics. Like Fortnite, I don't like the building mechanics. I don't like their backpack. I don't like the graphics. But Apex, I prefer how their shooting mechanics work. It's literally like nuances at this point for what you choose. If you like the building, the Minecraft part of it, then you choose one over the other. That's how every game is, though. That's all I know.
Obviously, I mean, there's some things that are just they're too good to not use. Like the way in Call of Duty or Battlefield, the way you shoot, you probably use LT to aim, or the back triggers. Probably use the back trigger to aim, and then the other back trigger to shoot. Those kind of things. Those are just good. Those are good things to use in a game. But like
the last battle,
like the way the weapon, the weapon wheel is, and stealth kills, like all that. To me, it's just real like repetitive, and it's kind of like
that's the issue.
Yeah.
Actually, the last battle.
That's kind of where I can see it like looking to indie games, because I know Isaac, you've introduced me to some, and even like the more simpler of the games, like
Guns of Mercy.
Yeah, and then what's the one that we've been playing? Tilted Towers, which is just
Tricky Towers, yeah.
Tricky Towers, which is just a Tetris kind of like remake, but more like speed run based and everything.
That game is so fun, but it's so frustrating, especially when you're doing a race and you need that one block and you misplace it, your whole tower comes tumbling down.
Dude, he was watching this one guy play a game that was like a modern, I guess, kind of horror version of Pac-Man. You're like running through the hallway trying to collect these gems, and the whole time there's these ghosts chasing you.
The monkeys, with the
I thought that was sick.
I forget what the game is called, but yeah, man, that looks really cool.
Is that what Dashie played?
Dashie played that.
What's it called? I know what you're talking about.
Dark something.
Dark Survivals. Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, man, that game looks fun as heck. And then they got the lady, like the evil lady that like appears.
Yeah, the woman that like stands there and guides you throughout the.
Yeah, dude, the statue level creeps me
that's
out.
Like another throwback. That's another throwback to like Crash Bandicoot type days.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was dope because I'm a huge fan of Crash Bandicoot, man. Like that game series is amongst the best.
There's rumors that they are making another Crash Bandicoot. Actually,
that'd be a good idea. I'd buy it.
Or remaking Crash Bash.
I would buy that. I haven't played that one. Crash Bash is awesome.
Crash Bash is amazing.
Oh yeah.
I played like Wrath of Cortex and Nitro Circuit. Or, you know what I mean by the Nitro Circuit was a different thing, but that's a name similar to that. Wrath of Cortex is my favorite.
Crash Bash. Crash Bash is pretty much like Mario Party except for Crash. Except in my opinion, the games are a little better.
Really?
That sounds kind of like how I really liked Diddy Kong Racing on the 64 back in the day, but like nobody remembers that, and it was pretty much Mario Kart, but with Diddy characters, and it even had Conker's Bad Fur Day on that.
Yes, my boy Conker.
Game was big, man.
What's interesting, Zeal, is that it had way more mechanics than Mario Kart because you can transform into a boat, you can transform into a plane, you didn't have to stay as a car. Which I'm shocked people don't remember that.
Seriously, same thing with Kirby Air Ride came out on GameCube, and I have that one. It's an amazing game that's very similar, where you're you basically you have racing games, but you also have like events of like long jumps, high jumps. Your vehicle can like fly through the air. You have collectibles and all that. And I'm like, it's way better than Mario Kart, honestly, because Mario Kart is strictly racing, except for like the bumper car thing. But
Yeah. Well,
I think
I feel like one racing game that needs to come back is F-Zero. Like, it's been almost 12 years, I think. I'm ballparking that number,
Really?
but yeah, like the last
Yeah.
F-Zero
Oh, right,
was
'cause it came out
GameCube.
like the Wii, right?
No, not even Wii. It was GameCube. That was the last
GameCube?
F-Zero.
Yeah.
And F-Zero was
What
an
was that?
amazing series.
What was that hot race? The really big one that was popular as hell with Galaga. It was made by the same people that made Galaga, and they had this really basic.
Pole position, probably.
Pole position.
Probably, yeah. That one was a good. That, and then another one. The other, like I remember, like a big franchise back then was Need for Speed and like ATV Off Road Fury. They
And
stopped
Midnight
making a lot of
Club.
vehicle games. Yeah,
ATV.
Midnight Club. Yes,
Midnight Club 3
There's a game
was
called
amazing.
Smashing Drive
That was a
came
great one.
out. There's a game called Smashing Drive that came out for GameCube, and it was beautiful. You're basically taxis, but it's a racing game, but you're driving
With
through a
taxis?
city. Yeah, and
That's
it's like it's a
awesome.
game because of the fact that like it's power ups to where like you can get speed boost, you crash through buildings. There's a one race course where you literally drive through a movie theater while people are inside, and you just hear them stand up and scream and run off to the side. You crash through the
What did you
side.
say it was called?
Smashing Drive.
So it's
When I
like
told you
crazy.
I missed that game.
So it's like Crazy Taxi, except you're racing, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like I love the visuals of it and just the gameplay idea. Like there's a part of the race where you drive. There's shortcuts you can take, but there's one that like you drive up the side of like the Empire State Building and you see King Kong climbing up it right in front of you. It's awesome. Damn,
Dude.
Almost had a tick, I think. Damn, I dropped it. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a tick or just a freaking mosquito.
What were you gonna bring up earlier? You said something about a topic of opinion.
Oh yes. If it's all right for me to bring up a topic of opinion, I want to bring up this that I never get to hear people talk about anymore. I really think that Nintendo should become a third-party developer, similar to the way that Sonic did with this entire franchise.
You mean Sega with Sonic, kind of?
Yeah, Sega did with Sonic. Because like Nintendo is great. It's my favorite system, but it's so secluded with its games that like I can't participate in any of the most popular games from other systems, and the most popular games on this system don't come out on other systems. So it's like it sucks as anytime there's like a 1-4U situation coming out where everyone's releasing a new system at the same time. I'm like, well, I have to choose Nintendo. That's the only way I'm going to play my Zelda and Super Smash Bros. But at the same time, I'm about to miss out on every other like shoot 'em up and whatnot that comes out, and it sucks. But I feel like Nintendo systems just aren't worth getting socially. They're solely for like family games. But if they just became third-party developers, you could play them on Xbox and PlayStation and whatnot. They still make a heck ton of money because the names are big enough as they are. Mario.
And these systems can easily run them, too.
Exactly. Like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't see why they don't just become third-party developers, because every time they release a system, they're like innovative about it, but another system comes over and does it better. Like the Wii came out and it's great. Well, they didn't beat the Wii in their styles yet,
No, not yet.
but
Connect sucked.
yeah, like Connect and what was it called, the PlayStation Move or something like
Yep.
that.
Yeah, it was like something like that.
Sucked even
They
worse.
tried to replicate the Wii, but that was the one time where I feel like they really screwed it over. But like every other system so far is like Nintendo, there's nothing special about you other than the fact that we get to play these very specific games on you. And so like I'm
It's
really
kind of
hoping
funny-
people go ahead and-
Didn't Nintendo outsell Xbox One?
Yeah, they
Am I
did.
wrong about
The
that?
Switch, no.
I think they did.
In Japan, it outsold the PS4.
Yeah, in Japan it outsold.
Wait, what was
PS4.
it? The Switch that
Yeah,
that
the Switch
beat it?
outsold it.
See, I don't blame that because Switch came out after the Xbox One and PS4,
Mhm.
because the Wii U came out at the same time as
Which
Xbox
was
One and PS4.
A failure, admittingly.
Yeah.
Exactly, admittedly. Like, and I think it was a great idea for a system because, like, they have, like, you got your gamepad where you can see your screen. You can also play on like the main television. That was beautiful to me. I thought the idea of it was great.
Well, I
Since
feel
then,
like
I feel like the Switch was like the upgraded version of the Wii U.
I feel like the Switch is what the Wii U should have been had they taken their
Exactly,
time longer. That's me.
Exactly.
And you know what, Zeal? I think that would. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about that because yes, I would love to have just one system and play my Nintendo games. Because I have to switch between my PS4 or my Switch. But with the way the Switch is, I do not see that happening.
Yeah,
like,
true. They're
ever.
doing too well for them to become a third-party developer.
But you also brought up another good point, actually, or led into another topic. With these next-gen consoles coming out, what is going to happen to the Switch? A Switch cannot compete.
Exactly.
You can't put them in the same ballpark as how weak the Switch is compared to the beast that's the Xbox Series X. I mean, that thing is a beast. It's a gaming PC.
Well, to go back,
They
go
have
back to
Microsoft
what
behind them.
Zio-
I feel like that's the first person that Nintendo should sell their stuff to, because Microsoft has PC and Xbox in their running. So if you're a gamer, Microsoft is like it's leading the charts, except for how well the Switch is doing. And with that said, I feel like at the very least, Nintendo needs to find a way to open up to like cross-platform gaming or something, because
And which they are not. They are very protective of their IPs.
To go back to what Zio was saying though, like I can kind of see that, like bringing in Call of Duty and Halo and all these other games to the Switch. But the only thing that would kind of suck about that, I think you would kind of lose that uniqueness to what Nintendo brings.
And the charm of Nintendo.
If you start
It has
bringing
that
in
family charm, yeah.
well, that, and if you start bringing in, let's say just go back to Call of Duty, since that's a more popular one of all of them.
Modern Warfare and stuff.
You would have to like change up the controller. You'd have to add like a couple buttons just to get that that feel of how the
or
other
the Pro controller. They had to bundle with the Pro.
I don't know about. I mean, is that really? Because if I'm not mistaken, like they can do it, and the prime example for Nintendo Switch being able to have other games come onto its console. I mean, just look at The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 was originally for PlayStation 4, and I can't remember if it was released on Xbox One. Nintendo.
I think it was actually for Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo ported that game, that beautiful looking game, to their own handheld.
Which I am shocked they were able to do.
Yeah, it's a
but
beautiful
that's a completely different game from Halo and Call of Duty.
They can do other. They can do other games from like Halo, Call of Duty.
Yeah, but The Witcher 3 is an entirely different game though.
It's a huge game.
You have to.
at that.
I'm talking more of like the first-person shooters, which are.
I don't think the control should be too difficult. Sorry. I don't think
not when you have a Pro controller either.
Nintendo, because of the fact that, like, if you look back, my favorite controller that Nintendo has released was the GameCube controller, and I feel like all it takes is just a couple button modifications to make it work for Xbox and PlayStation, because like they still have the same BAXY setup, Yeah.
Like this would be fine for Call of Duty, in my opinion. Look, it's almost like the Xbox controller. It's staggered. I can't reach it. Dual analogs, great D-pad, has the same layout as the Xbox, and it has bumpers.
The the bumpers and the triggers.
Exactly. So I feel like this would work perfectly. Like I play my original Dooms. Like I downloaded all the Dooms on my Switch, and this is great. I mean, admittedly, I don't like the Joy-Cons because big mitts.
What confused me about the Switch and the Wii U is that
even with that being said, you're still kind of going back to you're just being like the other guys. And
but I mean, the issue is there though. The issue is there though. If you want to succeed in regards to sales, you have to adapt, and sometimes that means sacrificing. Sometimes that means
Nintendo really have to
adapt.
Originality.
Well, that's the cool thing about it.
Fine.
I feel like that's the one thing that Nintendo has on them is the fact that every other system adapts, and that's why they do so well. While Nintendo innovates and they give people ideas to want to try. Like the Wii wasn't thought of before that. It was thought of, but they had done terrible with it. The first time they tried that was with I forget if it was called the Virtual Boy or something like that. It was like a red screen.
I think that was Nintendo's biggest failure ever, the Virtual Boy, in their history.
Terrible. It was terrible. And like they worked on it for so long, they eventually came out with the Wii, made it better, and it's like they're just working towards these like AR and VR systems, which are coming out amazingly. I'm surprised they aren't doing better now. I thought that would have been like the main way to game by now, but it's still big. But yeah, with Nintendo, they're one of the partners. They innovate games. They come out with new ideas like, hey, here's the Switch. Now you can like take these apart and take them to go places and whatnot. And they did great with that. I feel like it's what the Wii U tried to be, but they like just didn't
had they taken more time to get it right. But actually, this all brings up another good point. Speaking of adapting, for like a year now, probably, people have been saying there's going to be a Switch Pro, which I think eventually there will be. Not now, because Nintendo themselves said, with how successful the Switch is, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to let it ride, which I think is a bad idea.
They did like the Switch Mini or something like that. What was it called? Like
it's just called the Nintendo Lite now.
Nintendo Lite. Oh, okay. It's not Switch Lite. Okay. Oh.
Because it doesn't switch really, so why call it the Switch Lite?
True. Yeah, that's right. You can't actually put it on nice.
But I
actually just picked one up. They're pretty nice.
It's like literally the Switch, the size of my phone, like of an iPhone, pretty much.
Yeah, see, I'm so confused about Nintendo in that way, though. It's like they went from the Wii U, which has this large, bulky controller to hold on to because of the screen, and then immediately went to now you have these tiny things to hold. And I'm like, they got to find a middle ground somewhere. I really feel like Nintendo needs to find a middle ground because they're both uncomfortable to me.
I think the Nintendo Lite was, I hate to say it, the 3DS killer. That's my opinion, because the 3DS is 12 years old. I mean,
so
and
basically the Switch that was,
and if you look at Nintendo's history, they always have a console and they have a handheld, like the NES and the Game Boy. Then they had the Super Nintendo and the Game Boy Color / Advanced. And then now came the Wii, you had the DS. And then the Wii U and the 3DS, and now you have the Nintendo Switch, and now just the Switch Lite.
Exactly.
Which I think they need to do a Pro, in my opinion. Because if you're, with how powerful these consoles are, you can't port them over to the Switch.
I would prefer them just at the very least open up to third-party gaming, like at least open up to, figuring out a way to make their again, my biggest problem with Nintendo is the fact that if I choose them, then I can't choose any other system whatsoever, not even to play with them. Like, I can't play Apex, I can't play Fortnite with them, I can't play Modern Warfare, none of that stuff. Like, that's all, I gotta go PlayStation and Xbox for those. And, like, I feel like having to only be able to play Nintendo is like, that sucks because you don't have the same games, or if the games that you do have that are the same, they aren't as high quality as the other systems have. And it just throws me off. I wish they would open up to more cross-platform gaming at the very least.
It's funny you mentioned that, Zeal, because I think that's going to be... Because, I mean, let's face it. Sooner or later, like all consoles, the Switch is going to lose its steam. You know what I mean? The hype and whatnot. Like all consoles do. Now, I think it's going to be a while before the Switch loses its hype. But I think that's the only saving grace for Nintendo when these consoles come out. Because, some people are saying these consoles are going to absolutely blow the Switch out of the water, when I think, no, it's not. Because, again... if you want to play Luigi's Mansion, if you want to play Mario, if you want to play Donkey Kong, you need a Switch, period.
Exactly.
So I think that's Nintendo's saving grace. And I think that's why they're not really worried about these next-gen consoles. Because, again, the charm of Nintendo, these great IPs that I'd say 90% they get right, period, and how much work they put into them.
Okay,
I mean, they should be a little bit.
Has Nintendo come out with any new games for their systems at all?
The Switch, they came out with a lot of new games on the IPs, like Splatoon 2. They came out with ARMS.
Splatoon came out for the Wii U, though, originally.
Oh, that's true. They came out with ARMS for the Switch. That's the new one I can think of, the new IP, ARMS, which was a fantastic game. Even if you don't like fighting games, ARMS was,
it is that
was
great. I heard well about it before, but then I stopped hearing about it. So it is like...
I think it lost its... Well, ARMS came out. When ARMS came out, there was a lot of games announced. So I think, with Nintendo just throwing games left and right, I think ARMS kind of got lost in the mix.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like Nintendo, I feel like a lot of the games that they've been releasing for the last few years have all been either remakes of older games or, new versions of franchises, like new games in the old franchises. Like, ARMS is the only one that I can think of right now, at least the one that did well since the Wii U, that, is since...
they did come out with a new IP, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what was that?
They did come out with a new IP, I'm sorry. It's I have yet to play it, and I want to play it so bad. Astral Chain.
Astral Chain, I haven't heard about that one. See,
Astral Chain, it looks fantastic. I can't even explain it, but definitely check it out. It looks amazing.
I'd say they might even have potential to make more money if they were to third-party develop, rather, because honestly, people like me I like Mario, I like Donkey Kong, games like that. No way in hell I'm buying the whole system to play it. And there's a lot of people like me that no way in hell I'm buying a whole new system to play it.
And like
So-
right now, I'm debating like.
Well, they
for
can
the last
charge
few
more.
years,
They can even charge more on other systems. Like if
True.
they were to charge like I don't know, what do they
and
charge?
people would
60
still
now?
buy them. They will.
Oh,
people, like I'd be more willing to spend $60 on a new Nintendo game for an Xbox than $300 to play just one Zelda game on a Nintendo. Like when it comes out, and it's like that sucks. And I don't speak for everybody, obviously, since they're still doing great. But
Yeah.
like, imagine if they released all the games that they're releasing now that's making Nintendo so popular on these other systems. Now they're not making the money from the system, but they're gonna make. They can like you said, they can upcharge for the games and make way more for the games themselves off the system.
Yeah, it'd be smarter if they're trying to cross into the market, doing cross compatibility, getting like Apex or something like that, or getting like Modern Warfare. Modern
Yeah.
Warfare is actually cross compatible. If they were to get Modern Warfare and do cross compatible, no way they're lasting again, because I don't think they would, because they don't have it doesn't seem like they have a good system to set up for it. I mean, maybe your controllers on yours are a little wonky or something. It seemed like their controllers were low.
I have Wii systems, so I have a Wii U, so it's pretty.
Yeah, it's kind of like playing Xbox versus like PC. If you have a shitty controller, you're not gonna fare well in a fight, and it's just gonna be annoying.
Do they not have a universal controller yet? Like,
I know
I wish.
a lot of PC players use like Xbox or PS4.
I really want to get into PC gaming too.
PC is winning
Yeah.
because they're able to be able to cross compatibility like that.
PC. I think everyone should have known from the get go that PC gaming was going to win. I mean, they're the most versatile. You got the easiest controls, the best aim, because people are so used to how convenient mice are. But even if you were to switch it to a controller, you're going to get the best connection. You're going to get the best speed, because you can't build a system realistically into something as powerful as the tower. You know,
All I'm saying is
Yeah.
graphics
Nintendo,
are better.
Nintendo has had its biggest success with gaming. As a company, they've done best with gaming.
Yeah, because that's what they are. They're a video game company.
Because they started as a porn company. They were like a taxi service.
They were
Nintendo they were selling. Nintendo has been in a lot of mediums, and they eventually moved into gaming, and that's where they did well. So,
Well, I guess they never moved away from sticks, right, guys?
Oh yeah, Nintendo doing filming. Oh, which Mark leads us to our last topic actually. They're re-releasing the Bruce Lee movies actually in one big collection.
Really nice, sweet.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee's a beast, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey Fernandez, I know you were kind of looking into that. You said that they were.
Yeah.
Gonna do
So
some
what happened?
commentary?
Yeah. So what happened was that there, like Isaac had stated, there's a film company called Criterion, and they work closely with TCM, Turner Classic Movies. They've released some classics like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, To Kill a Mockingbird, and also everybody's favorite film, The Room, starring Tommy Wiseau. So yeah, that's also
really?
that's literally in the Criterion library. The Room.
I had no idea.
But yeah, no. So they were re-releasing his movies. It's all in 4K. They've got a bunch of interviews from like his students who knew him, his family members, the impact that he had on the film industry, the martial arts world. Because I mean, he had quite an impact for a guy who only made 5 films. So providing that much background on such a charismatic action star, for those who know him, it seems like a pretty decent collection. So yeah.
Did you pre-order yours?
I did, yeah. So it's a little pricey, but again, like they got a lot of special features, and it goes into a lot. They've actually got they actually have commentary tracks on of people and actors who worked with him on the 5 films that he did make. So it provides a little bit of background information on like what went on set, any complications, how successful the film was, and stuff like that.
What about the fights behind the scenes?
The fights behind the scenes, yeah, that too. Bruce Lee was pretty adept at martial arts, so he did a lot of his own fight choreography. And actually, I think he's pretty influential among a lot of fight choreographers.
He is actually.
I don't know if some of you guys know who Dana White is, the president of UFC.
Yeah.
He gave credit to Lee for kind of paving the way for UFC, MMA, stuff like that.
Yeah, he actually was like, in a sense, the first mixed martial artist because he took all these martial arts and kind of just made it his own. So in a sense, he was the first MMA fighter.
Yeah, he had an actual fighting style, and he was actually a kind of dirty fighter, man.
It's called Jeet Kune Do.
Yep,
Yeah, Jeet Kune Do.
He makes me and Mark look like giants, man. But one of his techniques. So before you continue, Mark, I just remember one thing that I always remember is he actually does tell students to aim for the groin because it's the weakest part. He says, "Yeah, like what do you mean fair fight? The hell are you talking about? Punch him in the dick."
From what I get about Jeet Kune Do is that Bruce Lee said, like, you know, when you go for, let's say, karate, so you learn karate. When they teach you how to throw a punch and they teach you how to throw a kick, they teach you in steps, right? So if you're going to throw just like a regular kick up in the air, you know, they always say with your front foot, open the door, and then pivot, right? And then bring your foot up, like, you know, for the kick. So there's like three, depending on what kind of kick you're doing, there could be like 3 to 4 steps. Bruce Lee says, you know, take all of those steps and just throw them out the door and just do it, you know, like just,
which makes sense.
Don't even easy for him to say though.
Somebody's coming at you. No. But it also does it's something that you have to learn, just like any other martial art. It's just another fighting style. Right.
He teaches you
somebody's
to
coming
water.
at you.
I feel like that's one of the smartest philosophies ever.
Somebody's coming at you.
He's actually a well-known philosopher too, by the way. He's one of the most popular philosophers in his country.
I think it's safe to say Bruce Lee was a man of many talents, like easily.
Well, I think the
Bruce
most
Lee is a beast.
Yeah,
I'm ready to fucking go.
Yeah, I would have to say, like,
hey man,
the most appealing quality to Bruce Lee too is that the guy had like tremendous star power. I think he was one of the most marketable guys in East Asia in his time. So much so that when he had died before the release of Enter the Dragon, American studios wanted him way after his death. So they were like, "Hey, yeah, that Bruce Lee guy who we rejected time and time and time again. Yeah, could we have him for our film? Oh, too late, he's dead." You know, I mean, like, that's how charismatic the guy was. He was Chinese. Yeah.
It's funny too because I watched a documentary on Bruce Lee.
I believe he was also German, right?
He was quarter. So, but mainly Chinese.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny too? I watched a documentary called "I Am Bruce Lee," and his niece actually said a very good description of him. She said, you know, talking about how how popular he got.
Yeah.
His niece said he put balls on Asian men.
Yeah, no, and not only that.
That's fair. That's actually fair, considering that, like, no one in Western society would have tried to fight Bruce. I don't give a shit if you're 6'5". You're not fighting.
Not only that, but
he will knock you out.
He's very influential in hip hop because of that.
Yep.
Asian culture and martial arts became big in hip hop so quickly. He was one of the biggest ones doing it. So, like,
Wu-Tang's in love with Bruce Lee.
He had a background in dancing too. He was he liked ballroom dancing, samba, cha-cha dance. You know, he was he liked to dance as well as, yes.
It's funny because Bruce Lee actually said if you want to get light on your feet and be a good martial artist, you should take a dance class.
Yeah. Well, and I mean,
I'd actually say he's the epitome of exactly what martial arts is supposed to be, which is philosophy and body control. So mind control and body control. Exactly. So you have to have control of your whole entire person to be the best you can be. And he was the guy, like I said, a very, very big philosopher in China. Like, all Chinese people consider him one of the most influential recent philosophers. And that fighting as well, he's, of course, known as the greatest fighter, at least pound for pound. So that's like, dude, that's two things that you need to be a martial artist, and he had mastered both of them.
And another thing too, I mean, the guy was just so, like, physically powerful and mentally powerful. And one of the most appealing qualities is that the guy was humble. Like most martial artists, like you look at McGregor, you look at even like boxing, Mayweather. It's all about the money. It's all about me. It's all about
talking big stuff.
Hey,
yeah. I mean,
a big collaborator of his, Chuck Norris, also very humble, very good guy.
Yeah.
And it's always funny to see that his real name's Carlos Rey Norris. He's actually from Mexico.
I know, right?
And like I remember watching
That is crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Because he did
Nobody will ever
the total
mess
body
with
gym
Mexicans
thing. And he's
again.
over there. Yeah, he's over there with the thick Hispanic accent, and he's doing the total body gym. I'm like, what is this? So I looked it up, and I'm like, Carlos Rey Norris. Didn't know that.
No,
Plus,
that's-
he's like 70 now, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I think back in those days, I mean, if you wanted a death wish, you would either challenge Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris. if you really wanted to die.
Yeah.
There's no other fighter, no other respected fighter mean as much as them. Like
No.
Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, it's like you're fans of the craft, so you like them because they're like the tops of what they do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, it's like there's literally jokes. You can find websites specifically about jokes about Chuck Norris doesn't roundhouse kick. He moves the world below him. And like, it's
Yeah.
great.
Well, too, I feel like some of those MMA fighters go against the philosophy of martial arts. You know, they don't respect each other.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean,
Not
that's
all
kind
of
of
them.
a
Not all
that's
of
kind
them,
of
but
the
there are some.
WWE influence. MMA is kind of like martial arts mixed with worldwide wrestling entertainment.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like they,
Yeah.
Quite
I agree.
yeah, like they literally go over there and they're like, okay, what's gonna sell a fight? If you and I hate each other, or if you and I already respect it. But if you're climbing up the rings as an actual fighter, you better be talking shit, or you're not making it anywhere. You either
Exactly.
better be talking shit, or you better be knocking people out like Mike Tyson did.
But you low-key gotta blame The Rock and Stone Cold and them for that. 'Cause, like,
Oh yeah,
of course, the Hulk and everybody before them, like they're great.
the
but-
Attitude Era.
Yeah, like that's the attitude.
Oh, yeah.
They for all the younger people who are now boxers and MMA fighters,
Yep.
and so you
There's
guys
John Ock.
also, you know, Muhammad Ali and freaking
He did
Mike
taunt.
Tyson.
Dude, Muhammad Ali was low key a dick in the ring. Like, you ever see like videos of him trying to dodge, like when he's dodging people in the corner, he's like just laughing in their face. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you dodged, hey, you dodged
Yeah.
the draft, man. I like your fighting, but like, chill out for a second.
Well, on
Yeah.
that note, guys, Bruce Lee's a badass. Any haters that say otherwise, suck it.
Oh my god.
So,
Oh my
that's
god.
it. That's it for the Vault Talk. Hope you guys had a
Nice,
good
man.
time.
Mark's run out
We
of
all had a
steam
good time.
and things to talk about.
Yeah, it was great.
This has been fun, man. I love this.
Heck yeah.
I love doing this. So add me another time, dude. This is great.
Yeah, thanks
Right
for
on.
joining us, man.
We
Yeah, good
We
having
will-
you guys.
hopefully we will be back next week, but in person. We'll all be with each other.
That'd be great,
And
dude.
so-
That'd be great.
Make sure you follow us at the Vault Talk Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We're on all three of those.
So now you have zero excuses not to follow us.
Right.
Yeah, you also get to see my face.
Except for Twitter. I mean, if you only have a Twitter, kind of out of luck there.
You're out of luck. You're out of luck. You gotta go
Twitter
to the
sucks
other side.
anyway.
So, on that note, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you all next week.